So are the proponents of Proposition 22 here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. You got 3 minutes.
Great. I'm gonna take 2.5, and I'm gonna let the mayor speak for 3 minutes. Thanks. I represent a coalition that includes 21 Republican legislators, and many of them here today, 300 Republican mayors and council members, the Chamber of Commerce, more than 50 local chambers of commerce, the Building Industry Association, and groups that like the Howard Jarvis Taxpayers Association, and the California Taxpayer Protection Committee, who support Prop 22. 22 is simple. It does 2 things. It stops the state from raiding local government funds, including property taxes, sales taxes, and locally levied taxes, and it ensures once and for all that the gas taxes that we pay at the pump go to transportation improvement projects like 77% of the voters said it should just a few years ago. 22 is rooted in strong Republican principles. Number 1, it ensures local control. By ensuring that our tax dollars stay local in our local communities, it means more accountability for voters. Voters are more likely to go to their city council or their county board of supervisors to ensure responsible spending than when the money gets spent to Sacramento, with all due respect to our esteemed legislators here. Local control. Number 2, Prop 22 helps prevent against tax increases. If you look at where the tax increases happen in California, it's been at the local level. That's because the state comes in and robs the locals' money, and in order to preserve services, the locals will raise taxes. So Prop 22 helps protect against tax increases in the local level. And most important, it doesn't increase taxes at the state level. It doesn't give any new money to cities or counties. It simply says that those monies that have always gone to local governments should stay with the local governments for local services.
Amen.
Thank you. And lastly, Prop 22 will help stop the growth of state government. What we've seen in Sacramento is that instead of aligning revenues with spending like many cities and counties up and down in the state have done, the state continues to grow its spending, and it raids these local funds to continue their spending. So by preventing them from dipping into these billions of local funds, it will hopefully force an honest discussion in Sacramento about what revenues are actually there to pay for services. I know that we're going to hear a lot about redevelopment in the next presentation, so I want to hit that head on. First of all, Prop 22 doesn't do anything to expand redevelopment law in California. It does nothing to give redevelopment agencies new authority. It does nothing to expand their eminent domain powers. It simply says that so long as we have redevelopment in California, those funds cannot, those local funds, these are controlled by city councils, can't be rated and sent to Sacramento to increase state spending. Look, there are a lot of people that are part of our coalition that hate redevelopment. And if they want to embellish redevelopment, that'll take a ballot measure to undo the financing system for redevelopment. And I say, go for it. As long as redevelopment is allowed, we shouldn't allow the state to steal those funds. 2.5, okay. I mentioned who's in support. It's pretty clear who's in opposition. In your packets, you see those who are in opposition are primarily those who want to continue the growth of state government spending at the expense of locals. So I respectfully urge your support for Proposition 22. It has all the makings of a strong Republican measure, and I'll turn my remaining time.
I'm Jim Desmond, mayor of the beautiful city of San Marcos, California. 84,000 people up in North County, San Diego. In May, we got to write a check for $20 million to the state of California. They took $20 million that was going to be used for infrastructure, for housing projects, for police, schools, roads, infrastructure, that now is being decided up in Sacramento how to be spent by some bureaucrat from San Francisco. We got 5 conservative people on our San Marcos City Council that are we know how to spend dollars, we have to put budgets, and right now all our money's going to Sacramento. At $20 million, next year is going to be $5 million. We want to keep our monies local. We want to create local jobs and pay local vendors. We want to keep the money out of Sacramento where the liberals are spending our money to keep them local.
Great, thank you. Are the opponents of Prop 22 here?
We are.
Okay. 3 minutes.
If the purpose of Prop 22 is to protect local money from state raids, then why is its main beneficiary the redevelopment agencies, which are legally state agencies which are raiding local money? Now, Prop 1A already protects the cities, counties, and special districts. That was passed just a few years ago by a coalition of local governments. It did not include redevelopment agencies because it's the agencies themselves, state agencies, which are raiding local government. Prop 22 will lock in the worst abuses of redevelopment agencies. 5 of which include eminent domain. All properties within a redevelopment area are presumed blighted and subject to eminent domain. Prop 22 will protect redevelopment money which is being used to seize businesses, homes, even churches, hiding behind the Supreme Court's infamous Kelo decision. Look at the backers of Prop 22. They're the same moneyed interest that defeated Prop 98, which would have provided real eminent domain relief in California. Property tax diversions. 12% of all property taxes are now diverted by redevelopment agencies, and under Prop 22, that will continue to grow. That's $6 billion annually taken from local school districts, counties, municipal general funds, and special districts. Debt. Redevelopment debt now tops $93 billion statewide, and under Prop 22, bonds can continue to be sold without voter approval. Corporate welfare. Republicans believe a free market thrives best without government controls or subsidies. Yet redevelopment agencies pour billions of tax dollars into private shopping centers, malls, auto plazas, multiplexes, hotels, and stadiums, many of which now sit empty. Government housing. As the mayor of San Marcos said, this is taking money from public housing in San Marcos. But is that something that the government should be subsidizing? 20% of redevelopment funds are spent on low-income housing projects, $1.2 billion annually. Do we really want to lock this into the Constitution, the support of low-income housing projects, or should that money be going for local services in local school districts? Now, I've been a city official, I've been a county official, I'm now in the state legislature. I've seen redevelopment from many perspectives. I've written a manual, which is funded by conservative philanthropist Howard Amundsen, Redevelopment, the Unknown Government. Take a look at it. And before you consider approving this proposition, read what it actually says.
Yes.
Not what the backers say it's going to do. Redevelopment was a temporary government program to address urban blight and then shut down. It was never intended to be a permanent drain on local services. Don't lock its worst abuses of a broken system into the Constitution. If you support property rights, free enterprise, fiscal responsibility, and public accountability, oppose 22.
Are we in the
I was just curious who's filming this. I mean, I don't mind being filmed, but like Channel 4 News or,
Tony Buscala, Friends for Fullerton's Future blog.
oh, it's a blog, we love bloggers.
Right on.